These are the side hustles I used to make $1,461 for the month of April. I'll be breaking down each side hustle from A to Z, how you can get started yourself, and also giving it a grade so you can figure out if this is actually worth your time or not. Perhaps the most important thing is I'll be giving proof of each side hustle exactly how much money I made. In the niche of personal finance and making money online where everybody's lying to you, giving you exaggerated claims of how much money you can actually make, I think it's extremely important to be transparent, and I'll try to do that in this video. If you're interested in finding realistic ways to make money online, do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We do this every single week. We try out new things. Some work, some don't. But that's the goal of this channel, is to be as realistic as possible. Before we dig deeper into the side hustles, this is my chart of monthly incomes. I started off strong at around $1,600, 2 good months at around $1,000 and $1,200, and last month I made around $1,461. If you look at the monthly earnings, my average monthly earnings come out to $1,318 or $1,318.18. The 18 cents is important because I can put that towards coffee money. Enough chit chat, let's get into the first side hustle. The first side hustle is dividend investing. This is my proof of receiving dividends. I received around $550 in dividends for the month of April. I can keep scrolling and scrolling, but you get the point. One of my best months yet. Actually, I think it is my best month yet in my 3 years of investing now. I think that's enough proof. What is dividend investing and why is it so good for people looking to make money online? Dividends are easy to understand. Every company has sales. Pepsi sells Pepsi, Google sells you ads when you log into YouTube. Hopefully you're not getting ads when you're watching this video, but you get the point. Every company has sales. Every company also has costs. For example, Pepsi has to pay the driver bringing your Pepsi to the restaurant, and Google has to pay software engineers hundreds of thousands of dollars to write code that give you relevant ads. Once you subtract all these costs from the sales, you get what is called profit. Profit is good for companies, and they can choose to do two things. One, reinvest it back into the business, or two, give it out to shareholders. This is where dividend investors like myself come in. As dividend investors, we get some of these profit payments. Most companies pay dividends. Pepsi pays a larger dividend, Google pays a smaller dividend. The key point is that if you invest in Pepsi stock or Google stock, you will be entitled to these payments. Here you might have a question, well, what if I invest in Pepsi and Pepsi goes bankrupt or Google goes bankrupt? This is where ETFs come in. ETFs, or exchange trade funds, hold a basket of companies. 100, 500, sometimes even more than 3,000 companies. Some of the popular ETFs track the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, the TSX 60, and other indices that have been around for almost 100 years now. So let's say you're investing in the S&P 500, an index that tracks the 500 biggest companies in America. You're entitled to dividend payments at 1%, meaning you get 1% back in dividends of every $100 that you invest. Some indices pay higher dividends. For example, the TSX 60 pays a dividend that is close to 4.5%, meaning you get $4.5 back for every $100 invested. If you invest in ETFs, you're investing in the entire stock market, and that is why your money stays secure, and this is where I actually make most of my money. ETFs tracking the S&P 500, the 500 biggest companies in America, the Nasdaq 100, the 100 biggest companies in America, and TSX 60, the 60 biggest companies in Canada. If you combine all of these ETFs that I've invested in, just through these 3 ETFs, I've made more than $300 for the month of April. Since I am a seasoned investor, some of my money also comes from individual companies. For example, Pepsi, a company that we all know about. I like Coke better than Pepsi, but Pepsi does really well internationally. It's expanding profit margins and also expanding in developing markets. I think Pepsi is a decent stock to hold. And also the Bank of Nova Scotia, a Canadian bank. It paid me around $50 for the month. Not bad. Perhaps my most advanced method of investing is actually in covered call ETFs. Covered calls are extremely controversial in investment circles online. They sacrifice some long-term potential growth to give you income now. Once again, these ETFs invest in the indices themselves, so they're not extremely risky, but at the same time, you have to be comfortable with sacrificing some long-term growth in your portfolio. ETFs tracking the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, and the TSX 60, once again, paid me roughly $200 for the month of April. For me, dividends are an A+ side hustle, the most passive side hustle that I've ever come across. If you are scared about starting investing or worried about how to actually invest, just search free brokers or brokers in your country. For example, if you live in the US, search free brokers USA. If you live in Canada, search free brokers Canada. And if you live in other parts of the world, just do the same. You can find brokers online pretty easily, especially in 2025. There are literally no excuses. You should be investing and you should be taking advantage of dividend-paying companies and particularly dividend-paying ETFs. I don't really have to put in effort to get these dividends. I just wake up to a nice, you have received a dividend notification. It's probably one of the best feelings that I've ever gotten. Seriously, maybe Yeah, I would say it's a top 3 feeling that I've ever gotten. The next side hustle that paid me money, and this is a big one, it paid me nearly $900 or more than $900, was Fiverr.com. Here's my earnings proof. I made nearly $920 using Fiverr.com, depending on the currency exchange rate that you use, the USD to Canadian exchange rate. What is Fiverr.com and how can you get started? Fiverr.com is simply a freelancing website. You can sign up and provide services to clients. If you like logo designing and you're creative, you can provide logo designing services. If you like writing and you're a writer, you can provide writing services. If you're more of a nerd like me who likes programming, you can also provide programming services. And there's people from all over the world that need things done. You can work with clients from Europe, from Africa, Asia, North America, South America. That is the beauty of Fiverr.com. It connects you with clients throughout the world. The sign-up process for Fiverr.com is extremely easy. You just need to provide them an email and basic information about yourself, including how you're going to receive money. Here you can use PayPal, Payoneer, or other payment options as well. Once you're done setting up your account, you will have to set up gigs. Gigs are essentially the services that you'll be selling on Fiverr.com. Here is where my first piece of advice comes in with freelancing in general, is to do something that you're good at. If you don't do something that you're good at, people will find out extremely quickly. There's hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of people selling the same service. For example, if I take myself as an example, I am not a good writer. If I sell writing services and write scripts for clients, I'm not going to do well because my writing sucks. At the same time, I am good at some things, and those some things just happen to be interviews, or more particularly, helping people prepare for job interviews. I've spent the past 5-6 years helping people prepare for interviews, and I've got a lot of feedback that I should turn this into a business and start charging, which is exactly what I did. If you don't know what you're good at, just go online and search for freelancing skills. You'll get tons of skills that you can learn. I won't lie to you, I will be honest, it is not going to be immediate. You will have to spend some time getting good at something, but that is essential for anything that you do online, any service that you sell online. There are no shortcuts, unfortunately. Like, these gurus want you to believe that you'll be extremely rich and successful in 1 month if you buy their course. I'm here to tell you that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. All right, once you've gotten good at something, you have to also price low. Start by selling your services at a very, very low price. And I literally mean the lowest price possible, which is $5. I know that's a tough pill to swallow. $5 for something that takes you 2 or 3 hours to accomplish doesn't seem fair. And unfortunately, the world online is not fair. When we start off as a freelancer, we don't have any social proof. We don't have any clients. We don't have any reviews. Why would I, as a potential buyer, trust you that has no reviews over someone that has 500 reviews and has social proof? That is exactly what I did when I started nearly a year ago now. I priced my services at $5. I used to spend 2 or 3 hours preparing and delivering the order, but I used to get paid $5 for it. You can't even get a coffee for $5 at most coffee places in Toronto, where I'm from. But I knew that if I stay consistent, I can then raise my prices. Now I charge more than $50 an hour, but I couldn't get here if I started at 50. I wouldn't get orders in the first place. So you found something you're good at, you're pricing low. The third and perhaps the biggest thing with Fiverr.com or freelancing in general is to stay patient. If you don't stay patient, you're gonna lose at freelancing or making money online. Making money online is tough. It's extremely saturated, and a lot of people want to get into this space. How you separate yourself is by being patient, being consistent, and delivering high quality work. We've taken care of the high quality work part by making sure that you're doing something that you're actually good at and pricing low. That ensures that the quality of work that you deliver, at least per dollar, is relatively okay. The harder part of the equation is staying patient. I have been in this for a year, and I've noticed that people quit 1 or 2 months in if they're not seeing results. You're not gonna see many results in the first few months. You're gonna start off making maybe $10, $20, $30 for the month. This is where mental toughness and just resiliency has to take over. You have to tell yourself that this is not something that you're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars doing in the first few months, the first year or 2 years. This is a long-term struggle and long-term grind. If you can stick with it though, you will be at this point where, like me, you're making and you're charging more than $50 an hour. Potentially, you can even charge more than $100, $200, even $300 an hour, depending on the value of the skill that you bring. Some of the editors, for example, on Fiverr.com are charging more than $1,000 for the project. Other logo designers are also charging more than $100 for a logo that probably takes them 45 minutes to an hour to make. Script writers are also charging the same. You get the point. You have to stay consistent to get yourself to a point where you prove your worth in the market and then can charge a premium for it. Perhaps that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that it's going to be quick, it's going to be easy, but it's not. Unfortunately, I've said unfortunately a lot. maybe I'm bringing everybody's morale down, but the goal is to be realistic, and realistically it's going to take you at least 6 months to 8 months to see consistent income. In my opinion, Fiverr.com is a B side hustle. It would be an A+, but it requires some time to set up, and it also requires some time to stay consistent. But if you have that consistent quality and that knack for patience, you will see results from this if you follow these 3 steps. I can almost guarantee it. An average person like me was able to see results. If you have even an ounce of talent, you will see results. I can guarantee it. The hourly rate for me for this is around $50 an hour, but once again, you're not going to start there. You have to build up there. The last side hustle, and I'll throw this in as a bonus, is staking crypto. I stake crypto, and particularly I stake Ethereum. What is staking? Every transaction needs to get certified on the blockchain. If you lend your cryptocurrency to certify these transactions to get added onto the blockchain, you get rewarded for it. And you get rewarded in the same crypto that you lend. I like Ethereum because I think Ethereum has a strong ecosystem. Some good companies are building on the Ethereum blockchain. It has some real use cases in the finance niche and the legal niche as well, if they actually pay off. Most of the return for Ethereum, if it actually does happen ever, is going to be in the price appreciation, but I do get staking rewards as an incentive to keep on holding onto my crypto. The rewards are minimal at around $6 every single month, or even lower than that now because it's gone down quite a lot. I'm getting sad just saying this. But those $5 are a good bonus, a good enough bonus to not panic and press the sell button. Alright, those are the 3 side hustles that actually worked. Why is this video not over yet? Because I think it's important to talk about the failures as well. You will encounter failures in the making money online space, on the internet. I almost guarantee it. This month I failed at YouTube Shorts automation to make money, where I made a Shorts channel. It didn't take off. I only got 4 subscribers. So what? I also failed at some other unsaturated side hustles. For example, rentafriend.com was one. Making fonts and trying to sell fonts on the internet was another interesting one. Trying out TaskRabbit and being a personal assistant for people was also one. So I failed at a bunch of things this month that are not going to be the highlight of this video, but I still think it's important to talk about them. The last 2 things I failed at was A, using Grok AI to make ebooks to sell them and make money. Completely failed at that. And B, the biggest failure that I had this month was using Google Maps to make money, where I would message random restaurants near me and ask if they need help with pictures throughout their restaurant and try to take videos for them, take pictures for them. I got 0 replies. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Once again, we do this every single week. We try out new things, we see what works. And as you can see, a few things have actually worked and have made me more than $1,000 on average for the past 4 months. The goal is always to be honest. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't have a course. I don't have a Discord membership. I'm just a guy trying to make some money online. I'll see you next week.